Well, welcome to the Altura Podcast. This is very rare. I think that's how we started the very first podcast we did together, because we're actually all together, all four of us. We just had our yearly meeting, getting ready.
Which would be the second meeting.
Hi, I'm Adrian Huerta, here with Eduardo Gomez, Diego Guerrero, John. Just
Acevedo.
John. Just John.
John Heidel.
We are the four pieces that make Altura. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you to everybody that's just supported us. I mean, they're fucking tight. Everybody that's just been, giving us the support and all the likes and listening to the pod and tagging us and emailing us. It's super sweet of you guys.
And coming to the events, for sure.
Yeah, shout out.
But yeah, no. So this is our yearly review. I think this is us giving grades to each other in the space and giving thanks, flowers, and take backs, and anything else that we've done. We've been through a lot, guys. It's been a year. I can't believe it, but it's been a year since our first event, which was Palindromo 12/11/21, curated by Eduardo Gomez. Amazing artists on that show and amazing support. I mean, I look at the video. I realized that we had done our show. It had been a year, and I looked up the video, and I was like, oh, there's this video that Julian shot that I hadn't put up yet, and it was just Diego talking about thanking everybody and all of us thanking everybody. But to look back at that and think that actually happened 365 days ago was kind of a trip, only because we've done so much in between, and I still can't believe it. Not only just in Altura, but in our personal lives, and to kind of, that measurement of time to have that much stuff happen is just kind of a trip.
For sure, it kind of flew by, but also we packed it with so much stuff, so many events, and yeah, like you said, our personal lives. Mine personally has been super busy. I know all of us. Like we said, we've only met 2 times ever, so.
Right, yeah, it's documented as well. It's in the podcast, so that's like. But I mean, let's go down the list really quick. We have the list of events. Altura in 1 year, 365 days. We have Palindromo, 12/11/21.
Our grand opening.
Lit.
Mm-hmm. The very first Mariscos y Discos. Yeah. And then we have from Phoenix to San Antonio. That was a Valerie and Melissa event. Just tight.
Dope.
Mariscos y Discos 2,
Mm-hmm.
the sequel. Prendas Market. Shout out John.
Shout out
Enrique.
Prendas.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Dude. And then you got Summer Bernal, who came through, bringing in 3 great artists, curating a show at Altura, the first outside curated show. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And then Elom's solo. And then our Sumo Presente, our tribute to Nectali Diaz. Dude, that's a lot. Definitely. It's not necessarily one a month, but that's a lot.
We all have like full-time jobs.
Yeah.
We sound like it.
Learn as we go type shit.
DIY, our operation is just us. It's dope.
Yeah, and we're learning as we're going.
We built it.
We're learning to be patient and learn as we go, and that's still kind of where we're headed. I feel.
I think we've done good though. I mean, 9 events, and they're for the most part different, but I mean executed very well. If we look down at the list, and let's review this. I mean, Palindromo was fast. It came through so fast, but it was a trip though, because Ed emailed everybody, messaged people, and people came through. Like, they kind of believed in it before we kind of sort of believed in it, I think, because I didn't even believe that it was happening, but then it just kind of sort of popped up. But I mean, how do you think that went? I mean, you look a year back. I mean, how do you think that went in comparison to the rest of the year?
Well, I think for me personally, like, setting that deadline really pushed us to finish the space, and we had that momentum going of being in here on the daily, trying to finish on time and prep everything for the show. And it was a good start. It was a great group, and I'd like to go through and shout out all the artists that were a part of Palindromo. Sandy Altamirano, Bob Dominguez, Melissa Dueñas, Daniela Garcia, Rochelle Gomez, Elmer Guevara, Adrian Huerta,
Hey.
Manuel Lopez, El Ohms, the Perez brothers, Josh Vasquez, and Ever Velasquez. So huge shout out to all the artists that
Appreciate
took
all
the
y'all.
time to be a part of the show.
So much for real. But also you, I mean, you think about all those artists and what they're doing now, and what they've accomplished since that show. And I'm not saying that the show necessarily was like the launching pad, but it's the idea that you had a sense to believe in these people, to ask, hey, you should be a part of this show. This is our very first show. It's super important to us. It's super important to our ethos and who we're trying to be. And they kind of set the tone. But like, kudos to you for picking everybody. And I think you did amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, like it was really easy to work with a lot of these people because, you know, they were interested and wanted to be a part of this and saw something in us too, you know, like, you know, seeing the space and believing in what we wanted to do. So yeah, a huge shout out to them. Appreciate every one of y'all.
Right. And then right after that is Mariscos y Discos, which is, you know, kind of sort of the brainchild of Diego Guerrero. This is his life. He just thinks about food
That's
and music.
all I ever think about. Mariscos and discos. No, I think it was sort of like, yeah, we'd been talking about this event. I'd say we, like Eduardo, Mariette, Que Madre, and other our DJ community. Essentially, we all kind of been talking about this event just because it came out of a conversation with like, this name is so cool, let's make it something really cool.
It rhymes. We should do something. Right?
Yeah, and it was kind of it all coming together. Us having the space here in Altura and kind of we could do whatever the hell we want. So
right.
let's make it something. And it was cool. It was really cool. It was a lot of work, but I think it came together awesome. People really enjoyed it. And people still ask me about it. People are still like, when's the next one? When's the next one? What you know, what's going to happen?
Right.
You know, even other folks wanting to collaborate and make it this bigger event, which hopefully, you know, maybe something like that might happen. But we're going to keep it here at Altura. Hopefully soon we'll have one in the next few months. But yeah, that was a fun one for sure.
During Marisco season.
Yeah.
It's always disco season.
It's always Mariscos and disco season, bro.
You know, Altura, hell yeah. But no, I mean, those events are great. I mean, I pay attention to all the socials and all of our websites and emails and stuff. On the daily. The feedback's amazing. People don't play and they love it. It's a good idea. I mean, the idea that you bring in food and music together, but also open tables. I think the idea of open tables, people enjoyed because some of them they've never done it before, but you know, they felt comfortable enough to come and do it here, and we are, you know, more than happy and welcome to, you know, have something like that. I think it's cool. But also put them on YouTube, and the idea that they're cool with it. You know,
yeah, that was another thing that was dope. And shout out to you, Adrian, for recording some of the DJ sets. And I've gotten good feedback from those. And people tell me, hey, I always put those in the background at events or at my house. And yeah, there's some super talented DJs. We're super fortunate to be a part of that community. And yeah, let's include them. In more events. Yeah,
I just thought it was a good way to bring people together, community-wise. You know, people that aren't used to doing these things, it's an opportunity to, you know, kind of see yourself on YouTube or get up there and try something. And I mean, the music choices were eclectic, and I thought it was great. You know, that's what it should be. You know, but everything was on vinyl, and I mean, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to the vendors too, and to Correas for providing us with delicious mariscos, fresh mariscos.
Fresh mariscos.
Dude, yeah, I mean, everything that Correas does is amazing. There's one video, and I should post this. I'll probably post this along with this podcast preview. Where there's one video of Diego and I where I think they gave us I think it's Tosi Locos with Agua Chile, and you just hear us in the background like, oh yeah, that's the good stuff. That might be the best video I've taken in the whole 365 of Altura. I'm gonna post that soon though.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I mean, congratulations on that. It's a good event, and I'm looking forward to the Mariscos y Discos 4. Is it
3? We've only done 2.
Yeah, could you believe that? It feels like we've done more, huh?
Yeah, it does.
We've only done 2.
Right. And so then we're looking forward to 3, and then after the first Mariscos y Discos, we have From Phoenix to San Antonio, which was kind of sort of the first solo, or not solo show,
2-person.
yeah, event. Melissa Duenas and Valerie J. Bauer, phenomenal artists, kind of sort of a culmination of their story. That magazine, that zine was cool. I mean, it was well thought out, and to spend time in those spaces between Phoenix and San Antonio, but to kind of tie them in, but also to show how different they were. It was beautiful. The magazine was phenomenal. The podcast was, no offense to you guys, but my favorite podcast interview, I think, that we did.
It's because I wasn't here.
No, it's because Speed was on. I was like, oh man, that's my motivation. Keanu Reeves, I got to do this for Keanu. But no, I mean, the event was cool. The turnout was great. They sold out of their zine, and they were super sweet about it. Anything they wanted to do, we were down, and they were listening to us, and they were cool with what we wanted to do, and it was just a good collab. It just hit right.
Yeah, everything worked out super well with them. They're awesome to work with, and would be cool to do something again at some point. I know they're always traveling and doing awesome things. So yeah. Shout out to them.
Yeah, and you had the connection with San Antonio too, which.
Yeah, that's home, dude. That's home. Yeah, she knew friends, and then also to have Aaron Peña, El Gallo Negro, come through and DJ was kind of a trip, because I used to see that guy all the time. Bartender, restaurants, DJing, owning bars, owning Squeeze Box, opening up Amor Eterno, just doing good stuff in San Antonio. And to see that dude in the space that we've created in Los Angeles was like mind blowing to me, but also kind of sort of speaks to our network and who we know and how strong it is, but also how vast it is. And I love to see him here, but also to see with him and Dave Salvaje, it was kind of cool too, to see those two guys DJ together. I thought it was beautiful. You can catch that on our YouTube. By the way,
that was awesome. I play that one.
Yeah, it's a 3-hour set, but that's one of the best sets to play, like just in the background when you got something to do. Wash dishes, clean the house, change diapers, hang out, chill, drink beers, whatever. That's a really, really good 3-hour set, for real.
And the exhibition itself was really great. I mean, that was one of my favorite shows that we had, just because I really liked the way it turned out, as far as like the installation with the map and the sign, the little TV with the VHS. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, no, I mean the images that they supplied, the things that they had, it was a good pairing to their zine, because I mean the focus would be their zine, right? But it's almost like they opened it up and they threw it on our walls, and it was just kind of cool. Like they opened it up and they released what they experienced, and you could come here and kind of experience some of it, yourself, instead of like assuming. It was just good. It was good.
Shout out Orgullo Wines too for providing the wine that day.
That's
dude,
right.
Orgullo.
That's right.
Dude.
And shout out to Mastica too.
Mastica, yeah.
For catering our
many of our events.
Our grand opening.
Yeah, they've done a couple of our events, right? Yeah.
And the Prendas Market as well.
Yeah.
Right, which is actually the event.
Segway.
Yeah, after that, I mean, we had Mariscos y Discos 2, which was as successful as the first Mariscos y Discos. And then after that was Prendas Market.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it popped off.
Dude, congratulations to you, John, and Ricky. And
Prendas Market was dope, man. I think we all kind of really like what you guys are doing and like the fashion stuff. We want to see more of it. But it's cool to like also include the people in the fashion world that and like the vendors that That was a good vibe, that event. I liked it.
Yeah, good vibes, good people, good music.
Yeah, shout out to the DJs, Elias Lopez, Que Madre, and says the DJ Sick Ass Fool on the fly.
Joe Barlow. Yeah, the homie Alex.
I kind of like DJ Sick Ass Fool.
Sick Ass Fool.
Yeah,
that show was fun.
Those
vendors
cool,
are dope. Yeah.
How do you feel? I mean, to see your ideas kind of sort of on stuff that people are wearing, like
it's nice to see, like walk down the street and you're like, oh shit, I made that,
right?
You know what I mean, like, and just people embracing it and
supporting,
yeah.
Shout out to everybody that supported.
Yeah.
Every gesture, like, it matters and it means a lot.
Right. I mean, doing that stuff is harder than I thought. I mean, so I did that little mini doc on you, and just doing a photo shoot. I was like,
that was fun. That was really fun.
it was tight, but also, I don't know, it was tough for me because I was like, this is his first like t-shirt drop, and
It was, yeah.
and I was like, oh,
First
shit,
time, kind of where you helped me direct and stuff.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was really fun.
No, you did your thing, dude. It was good stuff.
The models were cool. Shout out Solo, Dom, Randy.
Ricky was a model in that
And
shit
Ricky
too.
was a
He's
model
Ricky too, dude.
Shout
the
out Eastside
co-creator
Ricky.
of Prendas.
Yeah. But dude, no, congratulations to you and Ricky for real. Like, and everybody else that helps with that. It's kind of tight. I mean, we kind of take up the mezzanine upstairs at Altura. But it's kind of cool. You know, you're my neighbor.
We are neighbors.
We were neighbors. So it's kind of cool, man. It's kind of cool to see your success and super.
Thank you,
happy.
brother. Well, thank you for all your help.
Yeah,
Looking
man.
forward to big things.
Big things.
Big tangs. So
In 2023.
So after Prendas, we had Summer Bernal, dude. That was awesome. I mean, just the idea to have somebody else come out from the outside and us be comfortable enough to let someone like that come in and
Yeah,
do that.
Summer's
She
dope.
killed it.
She's like from the area
I
too,
love her.
so she's
I love Summer.
Lincoln Heights,
She gets
lives in
down.
Lincoln Heights. Yeah, man. I enjoyed those podcasts too. All of those with Summer and me and Sec.
And Pavel and Victor.
And then
as well.
Pavel and Victor was cool too.
But
We're just-
Acevedo, Tocayo.
Yeah, dude, that's your bro, dude. That's your cousin. But you know, those all those artists together was phenomenal. But I think also was the idea that Summer's super busy, and the idea that she was willing to squeeze that in and let us, and she was willing to help us out and do a show that fast, and install basically herself. I mean, everybody else helped, but it was kind of cool, you know, to see her how hard she worked and to know that on the side she was doing other spaces and installing and curating stuff. But I mean, her stuff was successful. It was cool, man.
Yeah, that was an awesome show. I love printmaking. I mean, we talked about that in that podcast, but it was cool for that to be the first sort of printmaking show and for her to bring in the folks that she did there. It was a really cool show.
Yeah. Oh, I really enjoyed that one as well. It was a nice mix of work, and yeah, shout out to Summer. Like, I know she, like you said, she works hard, and she went out of her way to come here and install and work with us and be the first person here to curate a show outside of us. So that was big. So thank you so much. Big shout out.
Yeah, thanks, Summer. Sweetheart.
I love her.
Can't wait to have her back. And then after that, we had a very successful El Ohms solo show that got pushed back a little bit, but I think it was worth it.
Totally. Yeah, he was working on really big pieces, and those were kind of newer for him and the size that he was doing them. So yeah, he put in a lot of work, and yeah, the show was fucking rad. And then the Prendas collab with the t-shirt was another thing, which was really awesome. Some of those are still available. We might be linking with Ohms to put some of those out. We still have a few, so we want folks to have those. Those are cool shirts.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good show. It was like an evolution to his work. Usually you go and you see his stuff and it's, you know, a drawing or, you know, a painting on, you know, a vinyl cover or something, or some sort of graphic art rendering. But for him to have full paintings that were massive, it was just, I didn't know he could do that, and it was just kind of cool to see it. I liked walking in here like during that time. It was just like I would unlock the door and come in, and just like colors and all these pieces would just pop out at you, and I'm like, oh shit, like we actually have these beautiful pieces in our space.
And some of his classics too that are like very well known, and you know, and we had the OGs, one of ones, right here to look at often.
Yeah, or like, yeah, I mean, different versions of like album covers and posters and animations from all the stuff that he's done. It was kind of cool, man. It was pretty.
The
trippy.
boots were my favorite.
The boots are dope.
hard.
Yeah. Yo, and shout out to Marianne and People for Mobility Justice, the little bike ride that they did while the Ohms show was up. We were part of a gallery ride on the east side, so you know we were the tail end of that, and it was really dope, man. I think it was cool to have everyone come in and enjoy the art and
Take a breather from the bike ride. Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
And get some delicious mariscos too.
Yeah.
That's right. We had we had correas out there, and Adrian got an awesome shot of the folks biking up to Altura. It's probably one of my favorite social media posts that we've had.
It's epic.
Yeah, I mean, it was a drone. We flew it up there. We knew they were coming. It's kind of tight. Why not take the advantage of that stuff?
Yeah.
It was tight. But yeah, I mean, we had alums, and then after alums and mobility came through, and given that awesome bike ride, which I thought I wish I could have been on, but I don't even know if I know how to ride a bike, honestly. We're gonna find out pretty soon, though.
My bike got stolen not that long ago.
Oh, I heard about that.
I hate that
I'm
I
mad.
laughed on that.
You know what's crazy is I grew up in Long Beach. In Long Beach, I had 2 bikes stolen. And I know a ton of people that have gotten their bikes stolen in Long Beach.
That was the first time it happened to me since I was probably like 10.
Is this like trickle down economics where it's like, oh man, my bike was stolen, I'm gonna steal that dude's bike now?
I've never stolen a bike. That's like, that could be someone's like whole mode of transportation, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you never know.
I literally threw a wrench in their life.
Yeah, like that's how
Thank
people
you.
get to work. That's like a very personal thing to take.
Yeah, dude. Fuck. Sorry, John.
But
I
yeah,
didn't mean to
sorry
laugh on
about
that so hard.
Maybe the other person needed it more.
That's also true.
Okay, I'm cool with laughing at John now. That's cool. That's fine.
They could have asked me, hey, I need that bike. If you need it more, you can take
Yeah,
it.
go ahead. Shut up. No, you wouldn't. No.
John would have been like, "That's a $900 bike." Hell no.
I'll buy you a $50 bike. from Target.
$1,000, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so let's go to Target. I'll buy you a $50 bike. It's cool. Rude.
No, but yeah, shout out to PMJ and Marianne for that. That was awesome. Let's do another one of those. We should reach out to them.
I mean, they're always welcome. You know, you can open those doors for that group whenever. After that, I mean, well, before that, we should probably go through and make sure that we mention like the vendors and all the food. Like, there's some outside resources that come through. And just so you know, we don't charge our vendors. We know a lot of other places charge vendors, but we also know that they're small businesses and
They keep the profits.
yeah, man,
yeah.
that's
what it's about.
Yeah, man, we're not that.
They
kind
add
of,
to our space with being here, so that's more than enough. You know?
right. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Lazy Susan LA. They did the food, the catering for Melissa and Valerie's show.
Right. It's not just Correas all the time. I mean, don't get me wrong.
If I got my way,
Yeah, this is Correa's number 2.
I'm trying to get them to open out of my house. And
Hell yeah. But also, like, again, mastica, pozole. Dude, man,
They went crazy on that.
I'm excited for them. I'm excited that we did a podcast with them. I'm not excited how drunk we got, but I love that podcast. But I love that Ivan was always talking about his dream and what he wanted out of Mastica and what he wanted Mastica to be. And for it to kind of start coming to fruition is kind of tight to watch.
Yeah. Congrats,
Yeah,
Ivan.
dude.
Huge shout out.
yeah,
Pow, pow.
opening up a brick and mortar coming up this
Yeah.
year.
Stay tuned.
For sure, man. Congrats on all that. And then, everybody else that's helped us, up to this point, just thank you. Thank you for trusting us. Thanks for thinking that we could help you out in any way that we can. But yeah, it's definitely a win-win for both. But always welcome. But we appreciate it. Everything from like child books to candles to plants. Andy and Lanex with plants.
To weed treats.
Bubby cake.
I heard those were killer.
Dude.
Hey, they're CBD. They're CBD only.
No.
I was being sarcastic.
No, they're not. We should get that group back as well. But yeah, no, it's a good group. But yeah, and then eventually all of that leads to our last event, which was a really good tribute to our old friend Nectali Diaz, sumo hair, creative artist, musician, hairstylist, teacher, friend, brother, fucking everything. That was a really good tribute.
Wrestling champion.
Wrestling champion, yeah. The real wrestling.
Yeah.
The real wrestling.
Super Street Fighter champion.
Champion edition. Champion.
Yeah, man, that was a tough one. That was it's actually still up. We're looking at part of it now, and and thinking of all the shows we've done, and thinking about like which have been our favorites and this and that. This is one of those that kind of like touches a little bit of both, like favorite, but also a show I didn't want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely the most personal
for sure
show that we've had or probably will ever do.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone should come out and see it. It's a really beautiful tribute.
I mean, but we worked with the family directly,
very closely.
I mean, if we had to describe it, it's there's an ofrenda. There are visuals that involve Nectali's work, and then Nectali's clothes.
Nectali's personal stuff.
I think it's hilarious because we basically gave him some love by getting a tall model. Nectali's not that tall. He's not that tall.
Hey, we had to work with what we got.
And then, just, personal tributes from people as you walk down the hall, from photos and just messages, signatures, and things like that. And then you come to the back, and it's a mock-up of his desk and his space in his studio, which he used to have in his apartment. And then his Street Fighter console, which we just finished playing. I lost fast. Super fast. And then and then all of the merch that involves Sumo and all his work, and it sucks that we have to do it, but also this is one of those people that should be remembered.
For sure.
So shout out to everybody that's come by and paid their tributes, and this is open through mid-January, and this is for Neck. I mean, this is what he's left for us. This is what we think that should be shared. This is what the family, thinks that should be shared. And it's for him. It's what he left.
Yeah, and shout out to everybody that supported and the community that came together for this. Eddie, Edgar, we had Khalid, Julian. Shout out
Farrell.
to all the photographers that were a part of the exhibition. Farrah Sosa, Edgar Robles, Eddie,
Fabi
Franco, Handy. Shout out to Anibal and Maggie for setting up the altar. Huge shout out. And they worked
that was awesome.
They worked directly with Sumo's mom and his sister who were here, and they went over and talked about it, and they made this really beautiful altar.
It's beautiful.
So really, really
beautiful.
Huge shout out to them.
The opening was awesome because pretty much all of Nectali's family was here, and his nieces and nephews were here, and they were able to sit in the space and the music that we were playing, and they offered up some beautiful pieces that we added to the ofrenda, and that was all Maggie and Anibal that organized that. So shout out to them. And
and Nectali's niece Abigail, who made an original painting which is part of the exhibition. Really amazing painting of Sumo at the beach with pancake and muffins, sitting there.
Those were
watching the sunset.
Cats.
Oh yeah, those were Nectali's cats, by the way. Pancakes and muffin.
Yeah, it was a hard one, but it was necessary.
For sure.
Yeah, people who have come in here have gotten really emotional just seeing it. I mean, I saw tears.
It was emotional for us.
Yeah, very emotional.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we understand that other people are doing their own tributes, their own way. I think this is just our way of doing it, and kind of sort of just letting it be what he meant for it to be. He's not here to explain things. He's not here to speak for himself. But if you look at his art and what he's done, in the different eras, from most recently is Reina Tropical. Before that was Dinamita. Before that, he was a hairstylist.
Sumo
he was
hair.
a teacher. And then even before that, student, wrestler, just a good kid with really, really nice dark skin and very charismatic dimples. There's different eras to this guy.
Very nice hair.
Yeah. Yeah, there's different eras to this guy, and this is just our way of kind of paying tribute to it,
To his whole life,
for his dedication and passion to for his art, for his work, his visual collages, his music, the short films that he wrote. you know, we have all that here, and you know, it's a pretty big body of work if you take it all in. And during the opening, we're just playing Sumo Hair, his whole catalog, and there's so much material there, and he left us with a lot. And I think this is a good introduction to sumo if you do not know him. If you come to the show and you really get a feel and a vibe for who he was and what he stood for.
Well, yeah, that's Nectali. So we close out 365 days of Altura with a tribute to the homie Nectali Diaz. We appreciate his work. We appreciate him. We miss him. We love him. But yeah, again, through till January.
He was a big fan of Mariscos y Discos, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, that was the last time we saw him, right?
That was the last time he came to the space. He was here and he really enjoyed it. He stayed pretty much the whole event. I want to say he was here like the full 4 or 5 hours.
And you see
beyond,
him,
I think.
You see him in the YouTube video, the DJ sets.
Yeah, he's always in the back, right? Like
he's hanging around, talking to people, networking.
He had a great time that day.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah, we know.
Networking. Doing his thing, you know, but we're calling it the Nexhibition.
Exhibition.
That's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, come see it.
Yeah.
Mid-January, we'll be announcing the closing date and reception as well.
Yeah. So that's the last one of 365 of Altura. But I gotta ask you, how do you think we did? It's 365 days of us doing this. How did we do? How do you think we fared?
Are we going around the clock here?
Yeah, we'll go around. We'll go around.
Who's going first?
You go first, Edward.
I'm gonna give us a B.
Okay.
Just because it's pushing, you know, I wanna keep that mentality that we could do better.
Right.
You know, we can, and you know, I mean, we're always gonna do the best we can for the time and the resources that we have.
Right.
But you know, I think there's always room for improvement, and that's why I say B. You know, I say B. I think there's always room for improvement, no matter what. Like we're learning as we're going as well. So, you know, we're taking notes, mental notes, to now this time around, I'm gonna go all out and then go for that A. You know,
right.
I'm going for that A.
Right.
But always room for improvement. But you know, overall, great. I think for first year, for us never doing anything like this, and really coming together and with the community and our networks and trying to make things happen here. You know, regardless of whoever thinks they're successful or not. I mean, it's not about that. It's just about having the space to share with the community. Right. And I think in that sense, it's an A. Like it's an A. People come here, they see it, they appreciate the space, you know, they appreciate what we're trying to do here, and I think we have a lot to look forward this year, and I'm excited to see what happens. You know, we already got our feet wet, so now it's time to now we got to dig and dive a little deeper.
All in.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, B
overall.
Diego?
I think you could split it into several things. I think we executed at a level that was beyond my expectation. So I would, go A+ on that. I think we also have a lot to learn on the structural side of running a gallery and communicating and running a business and things like that. We have a ways to go, but I think that even in that aspect, we still did better than expected. In my book, we still pushed ourselves beyond what we all thought we could do. Mm-hmm. And that in itself is sort of just an indication of what we're capable of beyond, a grade or but I think that in the growth that we've had in this year, it's kind of that's where we, that's the grade I would give the A to. We just grew a lot, we learned a lot, and we pushed ourselves. And I think that that's the most important grade, there were a lot of things that were imperfect and things that we weren't able to execute. Like Eduardo mentioned, we don't always have the resources or the time, but what we did with what we had was way beyond my expectations. So A+.
I think I agree with you splitting it up because there's a there's us building the space, you know, which if I gave us a grade for that, it's an A plus, like it's a 100% A plus. But I think more like, you know, just programming, planning, communicating, like just, you know, cleaning, like just there's always gonna be that room for improvement. Cleaning, like that's one thing that we could always do better at, you know, and that's little things. But I'm just saying, always room for improvement in my book.
John.
Yeah, I'm agree with Diego A plus. I mean, coming together, different personalities. I mean, and 2 parts. Yeah, building the space. I think we did a good job. The rail that we did.
The fence.
You mean the
The
fence?
fence.
The fence that I built. No, I'm just kidding.
Reference the first podcast episode. You'll get that one.
Just, you know, we all have 9 to 5s. We're working class, and you know, we have a dream, and you know, we set out goals, and I think we accomplished them. Right, getting that first show out of the way, connecting with vendors and the community. I think we really knocked it out the park, right? And yeah, there's always room for improvement, but I mean, just new to the scene, right? Like, I think we made an impact in the community, and you know, people know us, and people, I think, like us.
I think so. Yeah.
Right?
Hopefully.
I'm nice. Dale's nice. Edward's nice. Adrian's really nice.
Nah.
But you know, the connections that we made with the people that visited us and supported us, are, I think that I feel like it was A plus. It pushes over the top.
I think
Definitely.
you know, now that I think about it, and you mentioned it, like connecting with the community here, with our neighbors, and you know, that I think was important too.
What's a dog's name? Leon.
Leon.
Shout out Leon.
Shout out to Leon.
Miss Kim. We miss you.
Yeah, no shit.
She moved out.
Yeah, I mean, no, I agree on all this. I would give us an F
For fantastic.
for fucking awesome. No, legit.
An F and an A.
I'm gonna say B plus.
An F and an A. Yeah, you don't know. Fucking
A,
F,
B
F and an
plus.
A. No, we fucking killed it for not knowing how this was gonna go, to not like, from knowing, you know, we've never worked together on something. You know,
We have.
I've never owned a space like this before. I've never put my heart into something outside of something that didn't pay me back money before, and this place doesn't pay me money.
we
at
make no
fucking
money at
all.
Altura, yo.
No, I lose fucking money. But you know what? No,
We love this shit, though.
Altura fills my cup. And shout out Nicole Garcia, my fiance, because she taught me what that meant, like what it really meant, to find a place that fills your cup, or do something that fills your cup. And regardless of what happens outside of these walls, when I come in here and I look at the art that we have, and the people we've met, and the people that support us, and look at us and the 4 of us and what we've done, it fills my cup to know that, like, the work we put in is it's received, and it's reciprocated, and it's given back, and it just kind of goes in a circle. Like it just builds its own community. It builds its own space. Sure, we built this space, but like, the people built this space, and I couldn't be prouder than anything else to be a part of this. Like, I'm very happy that this is going the way it's going. There's so many people that I've met that I have no reason to like know, but I'm glad that like this place has brought me to cross paths with those people. But I think this place has also made my relationship stronger with other people that I don't think otherwise would exist, or just be kind of passive, you know? Yeah, no, give us an F for fucking awesome. I think we fucking killed it. This is the shit. Yeah, I think we did good.
I think we did good, man. I think something we should probably mention a little bit of is we've gotten offers to work with folks, and we've had like growth opportunities, and we've, you know, it's, you know, we don't necessarily always have the resources to, like, for example, take over the studio space next to us that became vacant, and we would love to do something, but you know, some of that stuff costs money. But the thought that Altura as an entity, as a artistic gallery perspective in LA, we could take up more space, in the sense that we we could grow it. We could become a bigger gallery. We could become a bigger studio, bigger space. And those have been really real situations where we're like, damn, should we really do this? Let's look at how can we make it happen? We haven't been able to, but hopefully at some point we will. But it's really cool that we built something that can kind of not necessarily be contained. It's bigger than like I said, than we expected, and I feel like if we keep putting in the work that we've been putting in, it's gonna keep growing, and yeah, I'm excited for that.
That's what I was gonna say. There's room for so much growth.
That's
we started with this space, and I think it's great. I love walking in here.
So what do you expect? That's the transition.
What's next?
2023, Altura 2023. It's the new model. Fucking, we got rid of the CD player in the middle.
LFG.
Yeah. See, dude. Yeah, exactly. Let's fucking go.
LFG.
But yeah, what is your one wish for Altura? What do you hope for in the new 365?
To have as a successful year as the first year. That for me is like, would be great, because we had a great year. We, like you said, we met a lot of amazing people. We had, a lot of amazing artists come through that, and yeah, I just think, I think 2023 is going to be really good. And so far from what we're looking at and what we've got planned so far,
previews,
it looks like we're gonna get off to a pretty good start. So
keyword here is activation, baby. We're growing.
We got to put out a good sophomore album.
Okay.
We put out the first album was good. The next album we almost got to prove
That's the hardest one.
Right?
Yeah, most people
we're not a one-hit wonder.
We got to outdo the last year then, because I thought we had a good year. But
no, I think we got to say, okay, these fools aren't just doing one or two little shows. Like we got to keep it consistent.
We got to re-earn that
and take it to new places.
Right.
Take it to new, cool, interesting places that speak to our lives. What we've been through, what we do.
Right.
And what we want to represent here in the space.
For sure.
Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to fill my cup. I'm trying to fill my bathtub in 2023. I want to fill my bathtub. No, I think what I personally, what I hope for is for me to engage more into Altura, right? Like, we talk about personal lives and how busy we are. We are busy AF. We got bills to pay. We have mouths to feed, including ourselves. For me,
babies to raise.
I have babies to raise. But I believe in this place so much and what we do that I want to be involved more in growing it. Like, I want to be more part of the business aspect. How do we make ourselves self-sustainable? How do we create outreach and involve physically our community more so, and also networking and making it making the outreach farther. I know I was joking when I went to Texas. So I took a trip to Texas. For anybody that's listening, I took a trip to Texas, and I kind of threw out the idea that, I'm looking at property for Altura SA. Kind of a joke, kind of not. Maybe that's something in the future. I don't know. But the idea that Diego, you talk about the idea of growth and connecting with people and us expanding. Altura is that. I agree with you so much, where Altura is kind of taken on its own, its own legs and does its own thing. And, but also that we don't do that by ourselves, and
we anticipated that. We said it's going to take a path of its own. Like, whatever we do in the space, it's going to take its own.
Right. But also, like, I think with that being said, it kind of sort of is dictated, I feel like, by the entities that are outside or the entities that come in and visit us and support us.
The community,
right?
Is what matters at the end of the day,
right? We said that from the beginning, right? And if you go back and listen to the podcast, we talked about community. We talked about how much we wanted to be involved, and I think that's where I would like to. My wish is that Adrian Huerta is more engaged in Altura in taking a role of, the business aspects and figuring out ways for us to be financially stable. So that way, Eduardo can curate stuff, and Diego can bring in more mariscos y discos, and John could, design T-shirts and hang out and be here, more often and easier. So yeah, that's my wish. That's what I'm hoping for.
Those are some good wishes.
Yeah, I think it's good to set intentions, like have a 1-year plan, 5-year, looking forward and try
A 5-year plan.
Yeah, we got to talk about all that, and it's exciting, and but like Adrian said, it's work, and then just making the time and making something that could be self-sustaining and continue to be here, because I think we do add to the scene, we add to the community, being thoughtful in what we do, and just try and keep pushing.
I have a goal.
What you got?
We need a calendar. We still haven't had a calendar for a whole fucking year. We've been talking about
a note taker.
What month is it?
Getting a calendar and a dry erase board.
You are right. You're very right. I think we said that when we got the keys, but yeah, for sure.
Well, we've been doing it all without a calendar, guys.
Yeah.
So
I agree with Adrian, though. The outreach
feat.
stuff is something that I really want to do as well, and have the community involved and us involved in the community, because that's who really keeps our door open.
Well, shout out to Plaza de la Raza,
dude, Plaza
for having us for the Getty.
Yeah, man. Plaza's been a champion
of community,
championing us for a while. I was lucky enough to work with them, and they've just been sweethearts since. I did a couple of videos for them, and then they've just been phenomenal to us. So shout out to Plaza and what you do for us in the community, and for involving us and thinking that we're strong enough in what we do to continue this and to help us for real. Thank you. But yeah, so I think that's it, right? 365 Altura. Here we go. Our next meeting in 364 days, or what?
Yeah, I'll see you guys.
We'll see you guys
So
December.
What do we got going next? I mean, when is this coming out? Are we talking about January 14th here?
Yeah, no. This will definitely come out before the closing of and the 1-year anniversary of Altura. The closing of Sumo Presente. But yeah, January 14th.
Yeah, stay tuned. More details to come.
Indeed. Well, thank you for joining us, but also thank you to everybody that follows us and supports us and shares our stuff and tags us and comes through to say hello and all that stuff, man. We appreciate it. We really, 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 really do.
Yeah, shout out to anyone that we forgot to mention.
Shout out to all the new faces, the old faces, and just the community, man.
And everybody else that's coming through.
And our families, too.
And the future faces.
Ones.
And the future faces.
Yes.
All right.
Come by. Check it out.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us for the Altura Podcast. We look forward to opening the mic to our friends and the community here in Nela. If you enjoyed the show, please tap that subscribe and like button. Without your time and support, we wouldn't be here. So please leave comments and slide into the DMs so we can evolve this program for you, our listeners. Feel free to connect with us beyond the pod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Once again, gracias.